searching for a heart of gold and getting old.
Hey Guitar Fam, how's it going? I'm Nate.
And I'm Chelsea.
And welcome to this video. This one is all about the song
Heart of Gold by Neil Young.
And let us know if you like this type of video by just subscribing to the site and hitting the thumbs up for this video. That'll let us know what kind of content you want. If you want more videos like this, or we teach like easy versions of songs. And you can even let us know in the comments below what other songs you'd like to learn.
Yeah, we'd love to take some song suggestions, so put your requests below.
And if you haven't yet, before we get into this, go to guitarfam.com and create your complimentary account. There are lots of complimentary courses you can go through there, and if you need some extra help, you can even sign up for a complimentary private lesson with me. The first one is free. So it's a really good opportunity to get a plan ironed out. Anyway, let's get into it.
All right, cool. So, Heart of Gold by Neil Young. Great song. It's a classic. Maybe you'll get requests at parties for it. Who knows? But this song just has 4 chords, which is awesome. 4 chords and the truth, I guess. I know it's 3 chords and the truth, but anyway. We're going to say 4 chords. So the first chord is E minor. The second chord is C. Third chord is D. And the last chord is G. And you can play G like this with, I prefer to play it with four fingers, but if you want to play it with 3 fingers, that's fine too, whichever one you're most comfortable with. Now, the little kicker is that there are 2 variations of E minor within this. If you're uncomfortable with E minor 7, I don't think it's a big deal to just stick to E minor.
Yeah.
But if you want to be more accurate, then there is an E minor 7 in there. And so when you put your E minor on, then you can just put your pinky on the second string, the B string, 3rd fret.
Right. And the way I play that completely differently, but the same notes, right? I play it with my first and second fingers to E minor. And then sometimes I grab that note on the B string with my 3rd or 4th finger, depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's six of one, half dozen of the other. So whichever one you're comfortable with is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll get into the strumming pattern. This is a strumming pattern that I use for most of the song. We will show parts where I change the strumming pattern a little bit. And Nate is actually doing something a little bit different because we play it as a duet.
I'm playing mostly fingerstyle stuff, so if you want to learn the fingerstyle pattern that I'm using for most of the song, skip to like the halfway point of the video, and that's where we'll pick up for the fingerstyle stuff. Yeah.
So the song is in 4/4 time, and when I'm counting in my head, I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, these are all down strums and all 8th notes, except there is one up strum that's a 16th
tricky
note.
bit.
Yeah. So the way I count it is 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a. Right. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up.
And that'll get you through like 80% of the song. Now
for the intro, remember that we are going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first beat is going to be a quarter note. You're going to let that ring out for 1 beat. The rest of this bar are going to be 8th notes. And they're going to be staccato. Staccato means that they are very short, kind of muted. You mute them very quickly instead of ringing them out. So, for example, I'll put my E minor 7 on here. You go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. All right. So that's the first bar. The second bar, you're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. Now, the strums are on the 1, the 2, and the and after the 2. So 1, 2, and.
Right.
Okay. So the first one is a D. And then the second beat is a D as well. And then that following and is back to an E minor. So to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll do that again. 1, 2 and 3 So let me play the whole intro for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so the next line after you've done that little intro part twice is the main chord progression that goes through a good chunk of the song. It's E minor, C, D, and G. And it's the same strumming pattern that we've already encountered. Right. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
right. And it's a harmonica solo during this time.
So you're going to do that line 3 times, and then you're going to revisit that little intro staccato part just once. All right. Next is the verse. Now there's good news in that we've already covered the first half of the verse. Yep. It's great. So the first 3 lines, you're just going to continue with that E minor, C, D, G. You're going to do that 3 times, and if you have a hard time remembering how this goes, then you can just remember that each chord gets 2 beats. Okay, so that's the first 3 lines. Now it's going to switch up a little bit. On the 4th line, you're going to do you're going to play E minor, and you're going to play a G. Now each of those are actually going to get 4 beats, which is a full measure instead of just 2 beats. So you're staying on those twice as long.
I like to think about that as just that strumming pattern twice for each.
Yeah. Exactly. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now we are on to the last part that you need to know for this, because the rest of the song, Good News, is just repeating all the things that we've covered already. And so this one gets a little bit tricky with the timing. There's only 2 chords though, which is nice. So you have your C and you have a G. So in counting that, the beats that we're going to strum on are 1 and. You're going to let it ring out for the 2, and then the following and is your 3rd strum. And then you'll just let it ring out for the rest of the bar. So it'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so I'll do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
And you're stopping that after the 2nd strum, huh?
Yes, I'm muting. So there's 2 bars of that, and you just need to remember that the very last strum that you do is going to be a G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so that's the first verse. After the first verse, you're going to go back to the main chord progression that we've already covered and the main strumming pattern that we've already covered. You're going to do that 3 times. So
the harmonica solo again.
So there's a harmonica solo going on over that. So you do that chord progression 3 times, and then you go back to the little intro ditty where you go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1.
That's just once on those, right?
Yes, so you just end the instrumental doing that once.
I frequently forget that part and go right into the verse, so watch out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now verse 2 is a carbon copy chord-wise and playing-wise of verse 1. So once you have verse 1 down, you have both verses, which is awesome. And then after that, we have another harmonica solo. And again, we're just going back to the pattern that we've already learned. E minor, C, D, G.
Yep.
And that happens 3 times. And now we've got the outro. And the good news is you've already seen these parts in other parts of the song, so we're good. You're going to go back to the intro part with the staccato notes. You're going to do that 3 times. So you'll do that 3 times, okay? And then the very last line, the last line, we're at the end. So you're going to treat this like the end of the verse, where we have one measure of E minor, 1 measure of G, and then we have the C and the G. So it'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
So nothing new, you just got to be aware of where you are in the song.
Yes. I think that's the most challenging part, is not losing track of where you are, because there are a lot of kind of similar parts that you can easily go into the wrong thing.
The wrong chord progression
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, I did that the first take we did recording this. By the way, I should have said this way earlier, but if you want to see the full performance, skip to the end of this video, and you can see, like, in context, everything that we're talking about here.
Yeah, so that's everything that I'm playing, and now Nate's going to show you the fingerstyle. And actually, you've got a fingerstyle course coming out soon, which is pretty exciting.
I just finished editing it the day before, last night. Yes, last night.
It was last night, yes.
It's very comprehensive, and like, if you go through this course, you will have no excuse at all to not play any fingerstyle song. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, let's get into the parts that I'm playing on. The same exact chords, layout, everything. The only real difference is what you're doing with your picking hand. So for the intro, instead of doing strums, I'm just plucking. And then, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a 4, and that's the little riff that if you want to put it in there, that's the counting on it. Okay, and a 4, and that's just the open A, hammer onto the 2nd fret of the A, open D, hammer onto the 2nd fret of the D. And I like to put a little double up on the open D string, just for style. But that's the only difference between the intro for what Chelsea's playing and what I'm playing, so. And from there, you just go into, like, I'm doing the harmonica solo. That's kind of out of the scope of this lesson. But from there, you just go into the regular chord progression. E minor, C, D, G. And the pattern I'm doing for that is, let's start on the E minor. It's the same for everything. I'm just adjusting my thumb for whatever bass note is the lowest bass note of the chord. So it'd be thumb, index on the D string, and then my other 3 fingers on the top 3 strings. And then my index finger on that D again. And that's the main pattern that I use throughout this, and for probably 80% of this song. This is the equivalent of Chelsea's strumming pattern for this. And you could do any kind of variation on this. I'm just basically rolling up with a pluck on top, all 3, and then rolling back down with just my index finger. So, and then I move to a C, my thumb moves to the A string. Everything else stays the same. D, I can't use the A or the E string, so my thumb goes to the D string, and then my fingers go to the top 3 strings. Like that. And then for the G, back to my original setup, thumb goes to the low E, these 4 fingers come to the D, G, B, and the high E strings, and the same thing is the E minor. So just spend some time to get, that's really 80% of the song. And I do some walk down. Or some rolling. And if you want to know that little walk down I'm doing for the main chord progression, the E minor, C, D, G, when you hit that G, just roll up, thumb, index, middle ring, and then the bass note goes down to an F sharp, and then go to an E minor, and that's it. And it's kind of weird to get back, because you have to get right back into that finger picking pattern for the main progression, so. For the second half of the verse, I kind of keep that same finger picking pattern going for keep me searching for. And when he gets to the C part that Chelsea did, I kind of match that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then I kind of do another walk down to get to that G. So just C, and then bass note goes down to a B, and then bass note goes down to an A. So you can think about that as like a C, a G with a B in the bass, A minor, and G. I don't really think too much about that. I more think just bass notes. And that's really it. It's a combination of this, that finger picking pattern, and then just some walk downs. Maybe some embellishments with sus chords and things like that. So that's really it, regardless of whether you want to play the fingerstyle version or the strumming version. The main thing is make sure you have the individual chords down, make sure you can change between them smoothly, and then just memorize the strumming patterns. Listen to the song a lot so you know what parts are coming next, because the hardest part of the song to me is getting the order down right and making sure you know where you are at any given time.
Yeah, I find it just keeping track of where you are. Sometimes I can lose track. Like, how many times did I play that line?
Yeah. So just knowing it and being able to hear it in your head will go a long way. If you have any questions at all, let us know in the comments below. Let us know your song requests. And if you haven't already, go to guitarfam.com and create your complimentary account. That's another great way to stay in contact with us and submit any questions, or just let us know how you're doing and share your progress and your big wins on the guitar. We'll see you there. Here is the performance of the song. See ya.
Searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. That keeps me searching for a heart of gold, and I'm getting old. Me searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. That keeps me searching for a heart. Sorry, it landed on me and I went like that. It's been buzzing around my hand and I was like, stay. I was like, don't budge, don't budge, don't budge. Rah!